This one we do not have anymore.
Okay, so we'll take this one off. What about, well, you better look through them then. These are both fire trucks.
That's a tanker.
Okay. And those two.
Yeah. That's a fire truck. Sorry, I got that one also. Fire truck.
Geez, what is my
These are in
phone?
existence.
Okay, so those go to the fire department?
Yep.
And then what about that Bluebird bus? Who gets that one?
Fire
Fire department.
Yeah, I'll get
Yep.
those. And then the snowplow, what should I do with that one?
Get in there, just put it in the box.
Well, why don't you just do it this?
I can get in the bus, but, yeah, there it is in there.
No.
Steven. I would
Steven.
say, why don't you go to Steven
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
tonight and put it.
Just so it puts it in there quickly.
I'm sure he'll do it tomorrow or even tonight.
And this one we do not have anymore.
Nope.
You have a bigger water bottle than I do.
You actually gave me that one.
I did. Oh, I'm so nice. I didn't even know that.
You got a lot of water bottle.
I guess so.
I see.
That's everybody behind me that I don't know. Like, that's
Steve Brady.
Steve, what?
Who you
Okay.
think?
Steve Brady and Janelle Brady. Okay.
Larry Brady? No, Larry won't.
Larry.
Larry, okay, and your last name?
Yeah, I'll sure. It's only 24 hours.
Yeah.
Hi, how are you guys?
Hi, good.
Working on seeing that chair.
Yeah, oh, sit open in an executive chair. There's lamp light.
It, just whatever one you want, doesn't matter.
No, he's not coming.
Wait, that's-
You want this snowplow truck insurance card or what should I do?
Great, call meeting to order, roll call please.
Sarah? Here. Stephen? Jeremy? Bill?
Here.
And Todd? Right? And Sarah? Okay. All right.
And Sarah, you can see we have a long agenda, but I think we can burn through this pretty quick. And most of it's going to be informational anyway, and with a few motions in there for what things you might need. And so I need a motion to approve the tentative agenda.
Did you want to add the resolution to approve the contract with the city attorney?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we better add it.
All right.
Perfect. Great. Okay. We have more to approve the agenda. Dale, first set, second. Oh, good. All in favor? Opposed? Great. Same sign. Public hearing for proposed tax levies at 7. That's right now. So we will make a motion to open the public hearing for that. Second. Great. All in favor? So moved. So that's where we're at with those.
So with the budget, they've actually added this as a new thing for this year. So what you have to show is that you're not, on these levies that are listed here, you're not, on these levies that are listed here, you're not doing more than 3% increase. And the only levy that the city of Archer has is the 810 max levy. So that went up 1.25%. And that's only just because the property tax base went from $2,667,000 up to $2,700,000. So it's not more than 3%, it's 1.25.
So the tax rate stays the same.
Yes, yep. Yep.
Our tax rate remains the same.
Remains the same at 8%. Because that's the only levy that we have, and that's the maximum you can levy in the state of Iowa.
Great.
And who's it? Who determines this?
The state does, but the levy is actually based upon what your property tax value for the city of Archer is. So last year it was 2.6 million, and it actually went up about 33,000. So this year it's at 2.7 million. So then you take that, divide it by 1,000, and your 810 levy, and then that is, you'll have a 21,875 for an 810 tax levy.
Who determines the change in value?
That's set by the county assessor.
You never know when you're.
No, I mean, I haven't seen them usually.
I don't know that. I don't know when you're, probably, I'm not sure.
It's either.
No, there's no improvements from the Archie Cooperative. That bin is next year. You're not involved in. So, my assessment went up last year.
So this is nothing extra that the town's trying to do.
No,
No,
Okay.
no.
it stayed $8.10 for, I'd say 40 years.
And that goes to the town.
Yeah, that's our levy rate times the valuation.
Yep.
We set that, we went up once, I think from 7.5 to the max way back in, oh goodness, I have to look, I can't think that far back. But it's been 810 a long time.
So why are we having this hearing?
It's new legislation that they've set, so you have to have a maximum property tax levy. You have to do this hearing first, then tonight we'll set the hearing for the budget, and then the budget will be adopted at the next meeting. It's just an extra resolution to show the taxpayers what your maximum property tax levy could be based upon these levies right here, like your regular levy, your police, your fire, but the city of Archer doesn't use any of these other levies. So
Okay.
So you'll do this, and then you'll pass a resolution to approve this, and then, tonight's meeting will set the resolution to approve the budget, and at the next meeting, we'll have that public hearing and approve the budget. And then that all gets sent into the state of Iowa.
I noticed in the papers where, this is new, I mean, I see this in other
Yeah.
agendas too.
And it's not a very good, I mean, when we went to the meetings on it, it's not a very good, clear picture, because it doesn't show all the levies. Like, I also work for the city of Helena, so then we also have a debt service levy. So then we'll publish in the paper that we only have like a 0.03% increase because our property tax values stayed the same. But then if we levy more for the debt service, then the next time when I publish my budget, the levy will be higher yet. But that's not shown here, it only shows these first, like the regular tax levies here. But then when you get to the budget form, there are actually other levies that you can do too. So it's not a clear picture of what, I mean, for Archer it is, because you only do the 810 levy. But for like bigger cities and stuff, it only shows the very first few. So it's not a very clear picture. But
Okay. So actually, this is something we have no control over.
no, this is all it's all set by the state legislature. It's a new requirement, it's Iowa law. So, and then if you would have been over the 3%, then it would require a super maximum, or a super, like everybody on the board would have to vote yes, instead of just like 3 of you. But you're only at 1.25% increase, so you don't have to worry about that. So,
And that's just because the property values
yep,
increase,
that's the only reason why it went
not
up.
the tax levy.
No, you're still at 810, you've been at 810, because that's the maximum levy that the state of Iowa will let you levy. on your general,
Mhm.
on your regular general levy.
You go to your tax receipt, and it'll show, for instance, a neighboring town, like $16 and some odd cents, because they have levies for a lot of other items on your, if you look in the newspaper, they'll show that. So, but we're only at 18, that's what we're looking at. So,
And this is the only levy we're talking about this evening?
No, there's no other levies. No, even when you go to adopt your budget, it'll still be this 810 levy, and that's all you'll have.
I have a question. So I don't know anything about the levies. Can you maybe somebody explain that just briefly?
When you have you pay property tax into the county, or you pay taxes on your property. So then what we do is then whatever your property value is, then we can levy against that to help pay for things for the city. What it is, it's just a mechanism for the city to generate some money to help pay for stuff. And in this case, it's everything in your general fund, like your fire department, your library, stuff like that. So you're only generating $21,604 for everything that you have in the city of Archer, except for your road use tax, and you also get a local option sales tax, which is a 1% sales tax. So that's really your only sources of revenue other than your garbage. So, because it has to go to pay for a lot of things, so.
And that's what your budget is on then? Is that what your budget is on?
Yes, yep, yep.
Okay.
Not a lot of budget, is it?
No.
It isn't. No.
What were you gonna ask?
Does the city of Archer have anything from which they can raise local option sales tax funds?
Not that I know, I guess I haven't been here long enough to answer that.
No.
Right.
How about the elevator, like if they sell things out of there, like gloves or
Mhm.
weed spray or something, huh?
Because the elevator's
No.
not annexed in, are
No.
they? No. So.
the county has it.
Yeah, the county would receive
And
that.
and
Yeah.
we get a return on that based on the population of sales tax. That's what we have.
What we need to get is an automated gas station to generate some sales tax.
That's interesting.
It's cheaper than an actual gas station.
Yeah. Okay, any more comments on that? You guys, any questions, all clear with all that? Okay. Everybody's happy with their answers? Knows what's going on? All right, so we have a motion to approve the maximum property tax levy
We
dollars.
just have a motion to close the
Oh,
public hearing.
okay.
Sorry.
First, motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make a motion.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, thank you, thanks for your questions, because they're good questions, you know. And I think it's important that you can see that we don't have a lot of money to run the city on. You know, there's not a lot, you know, and boy, a snowplow truck eats,
We have to be frugal.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's always hard when the city, you know, wants or needs things, road repair, on and on. And then when you look at our budget, that's why it doesn't get done a lot of times, because there's not money in there to do that. It's real, and you know that, it's very hard to do. So, okay, resolution to approve the maximum property tax dollars, next.
There is just one other small item of income, I won't say small, but we do get a remittance from the county for the public library. That's not involved.
Okay,
What was that, Bill?
We do get monies from the O'Brien County for the public library,
Oh.
which isn't in this tax thing.
And isn't that the same to every library in the county?
Yeah.
Every
Yes.
library.
yeah.
It's even across everyone in O'Brien County.
Okay, item number 5, let's keep moving. Resolution to approve member, yeah, what I said. number 5, resolution to approve maximum property tax dollars.
So the total maximum property tax would be $21,875
Yeah.
at a 8/10 levy. And I see I need to change my date on here on the resolution, but I haven't
Okay.
published this yet.
All right, good.
So I need somebody to
Okay.
introduce that resolution.
Yep.
I so moved.
Oh, second?
Oh, I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
It needs to be a roll call vote because it's
It
a
has to be.
resolution.
Okay, roll call, go for it.
Okay, Todd,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
Sarah,
Aye.
Bill.
Aye.
Okay. Resolution is carried.
Okay. Great. And, public comment time. And, I wanna make a clarification on this. When I, saw the article in the paper, nothing wrong with what you did. I just thought, wow, I made it sound negative. And Sheldon to be negative, and I didn't mean them to sound negative, to say, oh, they were wrong in that. I think it would have been better worded to say, you know, we appreciate what they did, but we're going to add to it. We're gonna add line 6 to ours. And, so I have to think of better ways to say something so it doesn't sound negative with somebody else. And, so anyway, I emailed Sam and apologized, and he said it was just fine, it wasn't even an issue whatsoever. I thought, oh, good. And, he said that, he kinda liked what we did here, and, they're gonna, it was a help to them, and I said, you guys have been a big help to us also, and we appreciate that a lot. So it was a good thing, a really good thing. There, public comment time, and so we'll go by the public comment rules and public comment, yes, no, you know, or just anything in general. Public comment is where I open it up for people to comment on
To
it.
talk about anything?
Sure. Well, it had to do with the city though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, are you guys gonna do the garbage cans?
Oh, yeah, that's on our agenda.
That's on the agenda?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Then, this 21,000 that you guys were talking about, is that for the year, or is that's what you have to spend for the year?
For the year, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, I just feel that you shouldn't be wasting it, that you need to look at things a little closer, not spend money on attorneys to go after people in town with their houses and stuff like that. I think you gotta realize Archer is Archer. We're not the big city of Sheldon. And I can understand that people need their, you know, to keep them up and stuff. But to go to the extent that you pay money for an attorney when we only have 21,000 to deal with for the whole year, that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. Good. Okay, duly noted.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Larry?
I did notice, it mentioned in there something about getting an accountant for the library, for a library fund, is that?
It was just an idea, tossed out there. It's not like a for sure thing. It
I
was
don't
just,
think we should do that.
oh, no, it's not happening. It was just,
If this isn't that busy that I think
Oh,
that the
no.
library couldn't,
no.
the librarian of the board couldn't take care of everything that's
no.
gotta be taken care of.
Oh, no, it will. It was just brought up at
Still-
one of our board meetings and,
Still have time to think the great thoughts.
yep, no, most certainly.
Yep.
Just thank you.
Good. Good. Tyler has a list for us.
Okay, so my first thing is I've learned that my road is a county road. So it might be something that I've talked to the county about. But I was interested in seeing, do I have to get city approval to put up a sign of my own in my own yard? Would that be something that I would get put up?
Okay, a speed limit sign?
Yeah, or something that makes it flash, because it really grinds my gears when people go 60 miles an hour past my house. And it's not everybody, but there is quite a few people out there. And, I mean, not that my dogs are gonna stay in their fence. I mean, obviously my German short hair has not been the greatest lately since I got my other one, but most of the time they stay in the fence. In the odd case if they would, I wouldn't want somebody going 60 miles an hour past my house to hit my dog. So that's the first thing that I kind of thought of, and I didn't know what to talk about, so I figured I'd come here and learn a couple things. So I don't think that's your deal. But the next thing is a dog park would be really cool. I don't know if anybody uses this little lot over here for softball or baseball, but the little bit of time I was here in the fall and a couple times I drove through here or whatever, I've never seen anybody use it. I've asked a couple people and they say that it doesn't get used. So I was just figured I'd toss up the idea of a dog park. I figured it'd be a way to get people in the community together. There's quite a few people that live around me that have dogs, and my dog has escaped and made his way over there. So I have met these people through my dog, which is cool.
Good dog, yeah.
Yeah. So he's introduced me to. I mean, that's how I've got to know the people that I do here. Basically, is my dog has escaped and made his way over there. So I just thought it'd be a cool idea to have some place to walk. People to walk their dogs over and play and. And I think that there is some dogs that bark a lot. I think that just playing having an area to take them to run would allow them to burn off some of the energy, because a lot of dogs barking actually comes from not being able to burn off energy. And most people that have dogs, I think, just keep them cooped up because they don't have a great way to, I guess, walk them. Or some people are lazy, but that it just I don't know. I think it'd be cool. It'd be a low cost thing that somehow maybe I could raise some funds somewhere, something to help with that, but that'd be something I'd be interested in bringing up to see what everybody's thoughts are. And I didn't know that our budget was so low, so now I feel kind of silly for bringing something up that maybe kind of sounds silly, but I just think it'd be cool, a cool place to go to, have a place to let your dogs run and not to worry about running across a road or anything. So that's about all I had.
Okay.
Where do you live?
Jim Hurdy's old house.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Sure,
so
see
what
that.
were you wanting on that road? To slow them
Like
down?
like something that flashes at people, because some people get like embarrassed, I guess, by looking at it. I mean, not that it would help them slowing down, but
Because there is a speed limit sign when
oh
you're
yeah,
coming.
there's
into
definitely a
town.
speed limit sign. But if there's something that has a speed limit sign, that you could get a solar panel on the back of it that powers it, so it's not actually using energy other than.
I'd say a cement wall.
That would work
Oh,
too.
no,
Or
I
a
would-
speed bump there too would be cool. But I mean, that's a bit excessive
Finger
because
around,
like 35, 40, it's 35 is a speed limit
It's
there.
35, yeah.
Which is fine, but then 40, 45, yeah. But there's seriously people that drive like 60 miles an hour past my house.
No, I will second that, because we can hear it from our road too, and even just flying out of town.
And I can
Never
hear it, and I
forget
can hear
it.
it in my living room, which
Yeah.
isn't a big deal. I mean, I bought a house on a blacktop because it's used frequently, but it's just if they're going the speed limit, you don't hear them. If they're flying, you hear them.
So does the speed limit need to be reiterated after the curve? Is that kind of our idea?
Or yeah, maybe we can lower the speed limit for further out. I mean, it doesn't. It's a little bit of people don't need to be speeding through there, and obviously we don't have I've seen maybe one sheriff ever pass through here, so I don't know if they come through here much, but yeah, there's nobody patrolling, and I'm not going to sit there and write down stuff and call them out and everything. It's just I wish there was people there's a dog down the road that I see that's out there right there, and I think there's some kids that live down the road too. I'm not sure. It's just I don't think that people really need it. It's just such a small length of road that people don't really need to be. It's not going to change the time by a matter of 30 seconds. So if that's something also, but that'd be another option. I'd be
Yeah.
okay for it.
So, all right, good, so we have a couple of minutes to answer. I don't see any issue that we could section off like this part of that park, for a dog park. So if kids are playing softball, they don't have to step in dog poop this way.
Yeah.
If it was this way, so we'll look at that closer in the spring to see what we can section off from here going south. I don't think that would be a problem.
What
I
do we
think you
have to
better
do?
see how much it's gonna cost before you.
yeah.
Right, what would we have to do to
Decide.
protect insurance costs perhaps if something does happen on that other property?
I never thought about that.
Yeah, so.
That and, there are people that use that for their dog, walking their dog, but they're on leash.
Yeah.
And the only problem, even if although there are some people that do pick up their dog droppings, but when you mow, you find out that not all people are as good as maybe you are, or your neighbor picking up the dog droppings. So I go to Minneapolis and I take my daughter's dog to a dog park. It's enclosed, and there's bags hanging in a dispenser, signs, a lot of rules, and, that takes a lot of money. And, but the dogs really like it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but, even without a dog, a park, so to speak, a park, the park over here is used from time to time, in the summer with people exercising their dogs. And most of them keep it on a leash, and I understand dogs like to run. They really do.
Yeah.
But,
And speeding, people going fast, I think that's first of all a problem in every town. I mean, Sheldon, coming out of Sheldon on 18, now going into Sheldon, that's 45. They reduce that speed, and I've never seen anybody slow down for that. And it's a real problem. And then when we had the one guy here to look at us, we put speed limit signs up. There were people that were very happy with it, and there were people that just got in my face and said, "To hell with you, Jack, make me." And I thought, well, when you hit somebody and you lose your farm, I guess that's the way it is. It's really hard to legislate people to do the right thing, and especially speeding. See, I don't have that problem because I'm a very slow driver. If you've ever been behind me, you honk at me and flip me off, because 45 is pretty speedy. I don't drive very fast. And but other people, they're used to driving and they just fly, and they don't really think anything of it, which is really unfortunate till someone gets hurt, and then there you are. Even on Fletcher, we have people that just fly down that street, and it was, I think, Bill can correct me, a year and a half ago, a person went down Fletcher so fast they couldn't control their vehicle and flew off into the park in their pickup. Now that's ridiculous. That's just,
From time to time, the sheriff or the deputy, whoever they may be, sit out here in the summertime.
yeah.
But I don't think they've caught anybody yet. Well, they did.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, a couple people.
Yes, they have.
Yeah,
Yes,
he's
they
been
have.
on Main Street and stopped, I think, 2 people for speeding and down Fletcher, which was good. But it's not just Fletcher, it's Harriman, it's, and, one person explained it to me very difficult of, I can do as I please because you don't have cops. And it's really unfortunate that you have to have laws to force people to do the right thing. But, even, how many times have we all drove someplace and somebody's swerving in your lane and they're texting, every day, yeah, and we've all seen it, we've all been there. And it's so unfortunate, if you know what happened to me this summer, we were coming home from Sioux City, and I had these real fancy sensors in my car, and I slammed on the brakes and flashed, and this person went right, absolutely, her gold cell phone case was, I could tell the color, and right here she got nailed by a tanker, and it was a really ugly situation. And the Highway Patrol, found that I had a camera in my car, so they pulled my camera out and used it as evidence, and on and on and on. But we were so close, I saw the battery fly out of her hood, and the hood go this way, and I had glass from her car on my car. We were just like this, and it's really unfortunate, and she passed away from that accident, but she was on the cell phone, and had it up to this ear, so she wasn't watching 60, wasn't paying attention to the semi coming the other way, and I just think for the price of a phone call, it's scary. But yeah, I understand. We all see people fly out of town, pass there all the time, and rev it up, and yeah.
Yeah, if that was a T intersection versus a J, H, or R, however you like to see it, that
Yeah.
would considerably slow down traffic, certainly, in that area. But I'm sure that's a county deal, and then we got that private property, I'm sure, right there as well, so I don't know. That would obviously be the more permanent ability, rather than having a nice, easy curve for people to just speed right through, you know? Rather than having, stop sign and T. Because you see a lot of trucks trying to kind of inch through that too sometimes, and it's just kind of a hairy intersection sometimes. I don't know if anybody's had an accident there, I'm sure there has been, but, you know, if you got people not paying attention, of course, you see.
Yeah, and I understand, you know, fall, hurry, you know, you're trying to get loads to the elevator, you're trying to get fertilizer, trying to get all that stuff out, and so sometimes you throw the rules out the window, but, you know, but like I say, you know, if you want to lose a farm.
So it's just egg people that speed then, Richard?
No, everybody.
It sounded like it to me.
It's everybody.
No, I would say that
Lots
the
of
egg,
people.
the egg people are more of the people that don't speed. It's just the other crowd. And don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
I speed quite a bit throughout my day, but I have a lot of places to go, and I don't speed through like residential areas or, you know, mainly just on the blacktops, which obviously is against the law.
But you know, you talk about these speed limits, and it is what it is. You guys did what you did. It's 25 mile an hour, it's 15 mile an hour now. You find me another residential place in any town that's 15 mile an hour, good luck. I mean, I've lived here 50 years. I can't think of one accident that's ever happened inside of Archer, Iowa. And, you know, I just personally thought that was a bunch of waste of money. You know, for, you talk about money, to me that was a bunch of waste of money.
Somewhere,
So how much did that cost then to put those signs up? Are we,
Right.
the town was billed for that?
right at $600, I think. And some of it was you might say, not mandatory, but suggested by our insurance carrier for liability purposes. So we don't, I think we're quite conservative in spending on that. We put them up ourselves, you know, so,
Do you use road use tax for that?
yes,
Yeah. So that doesn't come out of the general source.
yeah, yes, that's right.
Good. Any more public
Those are
comments?
good comments.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great. Okay, moving on, mayor's report. I met with the library board. We went over the library items there, and the library generates funds from 3 areas. The state gives them $300, the county is $6,500, and then $5,500 from the city for that. And the library board requested that this money stay in the city budget, and that checks and stuff are written from you, and then that way there's no outside person being paid to account for that. There, I gotta say. So that worked very good. Then the rest of the library board money that's sitting, and that money is $7,834.36 and $25,928.65. We would like to, library would like to move that out of our funds so it doesn't show in our funds, and they'll put that in CDs in whatever bank they're going to work on.
Yeah, Katie Morgan is working on that.
They don't have 25,000.
Yeah, they do. They have a library savings account, and that is $25,928. But then the other one I have is a library and a community building. I did not think that that was all library funds. And those are separate funds already. They are not commingled into
Okay,
the
good.
city's savings or checking.
Are they in a separate account?
They're at separate
Yeah.
accounts at Citizens State Bank. Yep, both of them are.
Okay, so you need to
Yeah.
let Katie Morgan know that.
But I gotta interject here, that savings is because of our prudent spending.
The
Those are city
savings,
funds.
actually 5,000 of that is from Bonnie
I
Walling's
know that.
estate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that. But majority of it is from prudent spending on the city's behalf. So I don't think that's all library funds.
them to withdraw the 5,000 that came from Bonnie's estate?
No, you're talking 25,000, aren't you?
Well, there's two separate accounts. There's one that says library savings, and that has the 25,928 in it. And then there's another account at Citizens that says library community building, and that's the 7,836. And I do not know what comprises those funds, I guess.
No, in
So-
fact, I think we discussed those funds from contributions of private individuals. We never said we were involved in those funds last month, or maybe you misunderstood that. So
Well,
we have no obligate, you're not obligated, we're not going to spend those funds of anybody who contributed to the library.
Then I was
Not the city.
misunderstanding you.
Not the
So
city.
the savings is the money you're talking about, that 7,000 something.
Well,
If you would
There
come
was
up,
11,000 at one time, I think. There was 11 at one time. Did you put a CD in before, like just recently? You're talking about that, right?
what, it hasn't happened yet. The library board is currently working on that.
Well,
Because right now what you have is just a city savings account that has 6,913.62. You have a checking account that has 131,870, or 87.51. And then there's a library savings, and that's your 25,000. And then there's another account that's labeled library community building, and that's the 7,836. And I guess Rhea told me that was to build a new community center and a new library, the 78. But I
That
don't,
is correct.
but I don't know what made those funds up, I guess.
But I
So-
can tell you a majority of that was from a grant of 2,500 from the Archer Co-op grant and 2,500 from the Bank of Cooperatives out of Omaha. Correct? Yeah,
Those are parts of the 7,000,
Right.
6,900. So that's 5,000 right there.
yeah.
So then where's the Bonnie Balling, the 5,000 there then? Where did that go?
That probably went in your
In your
25,000.
25?
It shouldn't be.
Well, I don't know, I didn't.
I don't know where it came from.
Okay. We'll have to look into that.
Okay.
When you do, I may want to attend your next meeting, maybe I can cast some more light on it.
And this is why, to me, it's really, really, really important that we clarify the funds and get them moved out to the right place, to the right people.
Yes.
You know, that's really important, because it's hard to go back and think, what did they do all these years ago? What happened when, where, you know, and on and on. And the problem is that it's gone on for so long, now it's hard for anybody to, you know, straight what and where. I think that's really important. And also, you know, the history also of that is, you know, when the you know, 2 city clerks ago, there was confusion over funds then, which wasn't good. You know, Rhea did a good job with what she had, and Sandy's working on it, so we're kind of working to get beyond this. And that's why it's really important, and the same thing, that's why I asked Don to come tonight too, the same thing with the fire department is, you know, what is fire department money that's sitting in city money that needs to go to the fire department? Because my thing is, it's their money, it's their money. And if we show it our money, then it gives us kind of a false representation of what we have. And that's why it was nice when we had that special meeting to sit here and go over this. You know, we found out we had more money for snowplow truck than we thought we had. And that was the good thing. So, you know, we need to keep on working on cutting these funds and understanding what's going where and who's doing what. It's dangerous when you just put things in one account there. And I remember, though, that $7,834 and on and on and on cents. That was, there's also, funds for when the ambulance shut down.
Those are the further fund.
Yeah, and that's what that is. Is there's, do you remember how much that check was for offhand? You can go back and look it up.
2,500 each, just mentioned.
Oh, okay, that's what that was. Yeah, so that makes up that, and I think what we did back then was we said, let's put that in building. Yeah.
That's what it was regulated originally for. So even though it was, not 69, it's still designated permanent, even though it's.
Yeah, so there's no bonding money in there. That couldn't have gone in there, because they did that amount of work. Yes, yeah, and it was actually more than that. So I'm quite sure that money went into the library savings account, because that's where that was. You can find that up, I looked in last year's financial statement and see an increase in that. Yeah, so we need to do that. And so to finish off the library, so what we're saying is there's 7,834.36 in library community center building fund. So if somebody wants to give for a library community center building fund, they can write out and designate for that account. Okay. And then flipping it around, the library savings account is the actual physical money the library has, that is library money. Yeah, so if somebody wants to give to the library funds, which actually two people have approached me about giving money for that, we can assure them that will go into the library's account and not in a general fund. Yeah, that's what we want. Sounds straight with everybody? Makes sense to everybody? Makes sense to you guys? Makes sense to you? Yeah. 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 I think that's a good way to go. Yeah. Absolutely.
I have a question.
Yep.
So it kind of goes back to earlier when we put the talk, I had one more thing that I was gonna mention.
Yeah.
Can I, and the,
Yeah.
during a little bit. Me and you had talked a while back, at church about that property, like over here, I think on Fletcher, the green one, that you guys are gonna tear down, about potentially selling that property if I was to tear it down. So the property for $1, if I tore it down and got it back to just kind of flat dirt. Eventually I wanna build something on it, I'm not sure what, but that'd be something I'd be interested in if the city is interested in doing that.
Okay.
So, I just feel like I'd bring that up and,
Oh, good.
you guys can discuss that sometime.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so
under
our-
old business here.
Yeah, it's on
Yep.
our agenda.
Oh, it's on the agenda, okay.
Yeah, yeah, that's
I'll
right, good, perfect. Okay, and so, so we can be really clear with that library savings, that is libraries,
That's a totally separate account.
totally separate
Yeah.
account, okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, so you need to tell
Yep, I'll let
her
them
that
know.
and make sure we're straight with that. Good, then, let's go to fire department. We had discussed fire department also, and I went to the fire department meeting, and, okay, let me back up. I'm a real fan, my brain thinks in terms of pots of money. And if this is the fire department's pot of money, that's their pot of money, good, bad, or otherwise, you know. And we had talked about that with the fire department. Now, I'll just say this, is the fire department has their own account that I assume when the fundraiser and stuff, that goes into that account. Okay, that's not city money, that's fire department money. Does that make sense? Yeah. So, what we're coming back here looking at this is, what, if any, money is sitting in here that should be in fire department money? And the second part of that question comes back to some notes that I wrote over here, is what is the fire department actually physically paying for? So, like when we get to that, there is a separate bill, correct, for the fire department building for utilities. So is the city paying that for the fire department, or is the fire department paying that?
We always paid all the utilities, always have.
The city is paying all the utilities.
All
for
the
fire
utilities,
department.
45, so we pay the water and
Sewer,
Water, sewer, the electric,
electric,
for the fire department.
yes.
Okay.
And plus the insurance,
workman's comp,
yeah.
medical exams, wages, miscellaneous expenses, so on and so forth. I got them all itemized here in case you want to know.
Do you wanna know?
Well, that's pretty much
Yeah, he knows.
what it has been, I
Yeah.
mean,
Okay,
So
But-
far we spent, $7,408.
since,
And our income is, 4,373, soon to change the following year from the townships, and the town put in 3,000. So our expenses exceed the income by $35. And we still have to go to June 30 on that. And that doesn't account for other items too, such as we put a new door in there, $5,000 some years ago, and we pay for that, the city. So the city's doing their part, always has. And now we're going to catch up because to be more on a level playing ground, because the townships are paying us some more. So, but we keep abreast of the expenses and so on.
but by you saying that, then we're not levying enough to the townships apparently.
I think you will, though, it's coming.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
Yeah, it's
you know, you're
coming.
talking, like we went for $50 is, you know, it takes a long time to catch up, I mean.
yeah, it does, yeah.
Yeah, but
Playing
I
catch up's
think,
hard.
But, you know, so,
we'll be all right.
so basically, so for the year, we're at the current time, we're at a net zero basically right now.
Yeah, break even, you might say.
So then by the time June comes around, I guess that's your year end, January or July 1, is that
June 30.
June 30th? Yes. So then we'll be in the red by quite a bit, because you,
So just because of the
well, I mean,
utilities.
you got
But I
a
put-
bathroom that you're paying for and water that you're paying, you know, your standard utilities,
yeah,
you know,
I did, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Shouldn't be a big problem, though.
So basically, the whole fire budget is for gas, heat, water, sewer. So none of the money we get from the townships whatsoever come to buy any equipment whatsoever. Because all our money's just going to pay your
At this time.
standard costs.
Yeah, exactly right.
You know, you find me one other town in the
Yeah,
state
mhm,
that does that, I bet you can't find me one,
right.
you know.
Yeah, so Archer's really doing their part and more
Yeah.
to subsidize the fire department.
When
But we
bought
need
it,
to, we're a small town, that's what we have to do.
Well, I'm just saying, you know, so yes.
with our
But,
bigger funds.
you know, in November when I come here to talk to townships, because that was coming up,
You
Yep.
bet.
you know, we had no clue. We should have been bumping this up 5 years ago, because technically
Yep.
we can only raise them
Mhm.
20% at a time, or what is it? Or is it?
20% at a time, but then they're allowed to examine your books.
Yes,
The city's books and your books.
if they still choose, yes.
I-
And I think we, you know, what we went up, we exceeded that 20%.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Can you do that without an argument from them?
What's that?
Can you do that without an argument from them?
Oh, they had no problem with it,
Okay.
yeah. No, because
Yeah,
I mean,
they're pretty
we're,
they're pretty good supporters.
well, we're by far the cheapest in the county,
Mhm. Yeah,
and they know that. You know, that's why they had no issues of the increase.
But I can't remember in your contracts, does it read that if they buy equipment, do the township share in that
There-
purchase price?
Yes,
Okay, so
Yeah.
that always helps.
mhm.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been very,
But that's basically
supportive of
large
buying new
purchases.
equipment.
Yeah, like
Yes.
equipment, and, you know, yeah, not much stuff.
So,
The last fire truck, they were right there
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So then, yes.
Oh, go ahead.
So basically anything we ever buy for an axe, a hose, a nozzle, we have to do with our benefit money. Is our sole budget.
Is that correct? I believe
Well,
so.
that
Yes.
was,
Yeah.
never written,
No, I mean, but it's got to be,
yeah.
Yeah,
you're
it
you know,
has
right,
to be,
you're right,
yeah.
you're right.
you know,
Yeah.
and
But like the door, you know, we paid for that because, you know what?
but I mean,
Paid for it.
you talk about that door, but it's a big deal. I mean,
Yeah.
you can
Well,
walk
I'm
in
just
that
saying, throw that out.
fire station and you freeze your butt off in there.
Yeah.
I mean, the ceiling's falling down in there.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Yeah, we spent
insulation's
some money on that.
crap. And, you know, I like to, and I never really said it, but you like to pick on these towns, houses in town. When this was all going on, I thought, walk in your own building you own yourself and look at it.
Worry about taking care of that.
Well, yeah, I
Instead
mean,
of other
you
people's
got
places.
lots of concerns everywhere else. Well, look at the stuff you own yourself.
Yep.
Well, I guess we did fix the door and the ceilings that we looked at for some time, but.
We looked at, I mean,
understand.
that's been 10 years,
I really do,
you know.
I understand.
But, you know, I also asked, you know, when we raised the townships, I says, in theory, I said, if you're asking the townships to pay 50% more, the town should do it also. You know, because how can you ask the townships to pay more if the town don't pay, budget more also? Because I said, it's hard to ask for more out here and you don't do it yourself. You know, so that's something, you know, while you're doing your budgeting, is something to consider too.
Yeah,
Yep.
it is, yeah.
Good question. What's the difference between a town and a township?
Township's rural, town is city. Township's, outlying
Township is like
areas.
Baker, Dale,
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
you know, there's,
Yeah.
the township's 6 square miles roughly type of deal.
Okay.
How the county is subdivided.
Yeah,
Okay, all right, thank you.
yeah,
I was
Yeah.
trying to understand that a little
yeah.
bit.
If you like look at a plat map, you'll see like Summit Township and it includes this area and on and on. It's all going down that way. Yeah.
Don doesn't have his map here probably, but they covered, the Archer Fire Department covers 9 sections in Baker Township, 16 sections in Carroll Township, which is west, and 5 townships of Dale, which is south, and 12, which is right across the blacktop here in Summit. That's what they cover, which is quite a territory. And that's all determined by the Fire Department Association or Bryan County Fire Department,
Yeah.
something like that.
Been that way for
Yeah,
ever.
whatever they decide,
It's been that way since Grady's been on it.
they do a fine job.
What's that, David?
What,
getting picked on.
what areas of fire departments cover? I said, them areas have been about that set in stone
You
since,
know, that's changed over the years. hasn't it?
somewhat, yeah, you know.
Yeah,
Ask Steve and Dave used to take care of it.
yeah,
Go get that one. Try drop
Yeah.
memory.
yeah.
That's why I was asking you about that, because I think we used to argue over money from the townships years ago, and you could never get nothing out of them.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, they're pretty easy to work with now, I mean,
Yeah.
but,
Well, they should be.
yeah.
And here, there are two things, look at you next. When I was at your meeting, I sat there and I really felt bad, Don, that these guys that have to go through this training, you know, I mean, that's all out of pocket for them. And I would like us to think about, and you guys in the fire department to think about, like, when they finish that firefighter 1, okay, and you have 2 people doing that, right? Three,
Yeah,
doing firefighter 1. You know, personally, I think we should, as a city, see, this is a benefit to the city, and I don't think somebody that's volunteering should get a kick in the butt like that, because they got time, gas, food, and on, right, to go to these trainings. This is so they're not only volunteering, it's costing them money to volunteer. You know, and I was on ambulance, and I completely know how that goes. You know, and I want us to think about, maybe we can bring it up at our next meeting, and you can bring it up at your next meeting too. What if we once they complete that, like firefighter one, we'll give them a strip end of, say, $250. And you guys do the same thing. You know, we can match it so they get $500, so they know that there's $500 at the end of the tunnel. You know, if we want to make it 500, make it $1,000, I don't see an issue with that, because the other thing with the volunteer too is when you guys get a call, you got to stop what you're doing and drive all the way into town, which is gas and time and on, and then go home again. So that's why I always have a hard time with the word volunteer, because volunteer means I'm going to participate and shell out money at the same time. And I have a real hard time with that. So, what do you think? Fair, not fair, good, not good, you know, something to think about?
I mean, nobody's ever joined for the money, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I got $91 this year for the department,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah, I mean, I get some from the city, but, you know, my share was $91, and I was the highest one, you know. So, I mean, nobody's ever done it for the money, you know. I mean, I think we give ourselves $5 an hour when we're on
Yeah.
call, you know, which, like you said, you know, yes, you leave a $20 an hour job to collect $5, but,
Yeah.
you know, whatever. But nobody's ever done it for the money, I mean, I understand that. But yes, I mean, when I took it, firefighter one was probably 88, 90-hour course. Now it's 150, 160
Yeah.
hours.
Isn't that something? Did you know that?
It's crazy.
That's
I mean.
crazy.
Yeah, it's expensive.
So,
Well,
Wow.
to me, it's worth it.
but that's why it's hard, you know. They had their first one meeting, or they had their first one last night, and one guy walked out one, you know, he said, I'm not gonna do this, you know. But, you know, and I told the guys that were doing it, I said, if I didn't do it 20 years ago, I would never done it.
Right.
Because I was single, no, you know,
Right.
blah, blah, blah. If I had to do it now, I said, forget it.
Right.
There's
Yeah.
way too many things that went on,
Yeah.
you know, so, yeah.
Do you know, do other towns do this? Do they give them a strip end for finishing anything, you know, for
I
doing
have
it or not?
checked with our fire chief, I think the city of Pauline, their fire department pays for all their firefighter one training.
Yeah, and I said, you know, I
Yeah.
told them, you know, any books, you know,
Yes.
anything, those supplies they need, get, you know, we'll take care of it, but,
Yeah.
you know.
But I'm thinking above and beyond that, you know, I mean,
Well, we pay, like, our guys go to fire school all the time in Sioux City, and that's 2 days, and then if they stay overnight, we pay for the hotel rooms, we pay them, but they take the chief's truck and maybe one other guy's truck, and then all go together, so then we pay the other guy mileage. But a lot of them don't stay, they come back home, because it's just in Sioux City, so, but I'm pretty sure they pay for all the training.
well, newspaper person, do you know?
What,
I can ask Brent.
Okay.
do I know what?
Do other towns that you know of give them any kind of money when they finish a training as a strip end?
My experience with these volunteer organizations is that their trainings are paid for, they get some kind of an hourly earning while they're
There.
performing the service. It's a mix on if they get paid during training or not, from what I know of around here.
Yeah, I've never,
Yeah.
I don't think, but I understand it's good incentive, but, you know, you go back 25 minutes ago, you know, I got 3 guys doing it, you wanna give them $200, well, you give them $600 out of a fund that the city ain't got. You know, I mean, you know, how do you, you know, your budget's tight, you know.
Doing
Yeah.
a ceiling tile with their name on it for the new roof.
Yeah.
Fire station.
Yeah. But see, I see
got-
it as a, I see it as a value too. You know, they're adding value to our town. And, you know, I mean, if we don't have anybody, nobody's gonna be a fire.
Volunteer is a volunteer, but it's hard to be a volunteer anymore,
That's
Yeah,
why-
it is, that's the problem.
because they make it rough.
Yeah,
Yeah, all the hoops you
Yeah.
gotta jump through.
it is amazing. And try to sit and comply with every little jot and tittle is just getting next to impossible, you know? And like I was talking to somebody from the state the other day, we were discussing, you know, what different cities do here and there, and some are just all over the board. And her point was, you gotta cope, you gotta try and cope, and adhere the best as possible, but sometimes it's not possible. You know, it isn't, especially for a small town. And there's a lot of small towns. And I know I will say this, is that I was at a meeting that-a-way a while ago, and because of some of the new regulations and stuff, there's actually small towns that are thinking about unincorporating, going back to a village. So, to try and, you know, circumvent some of those regulations. Well, I'm not so sure that's the best way to go either.
It makes you wonder if they're forcing you that way. Trying to make them push you there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really hard. So we're all in the same boat with this, you know, what do we do with these, all these rules, regulations? Yes.
Can I state my opinion from, I mean, obviously everybody in here is a little bit older than me by a little bit. I think that you had a valid point of giving some incentive at the end of the tunnel. So, for example, I'm in school, my boss pays for my schooling, which is a little bit different because it's a business, but my boss pays for my schooling, but I do 4 hours of schooling 2 times a night that I don't get paid for. So, and that's a class that I have to sit through and basically kind of work my calendar around that in order to make it work. But, and then at the end of the tunnel, I get $2 an hour raise, 2 weeks more vacation, and you know, as long as I pass it. If I don't pass it, then it's something that I have to pay for. So I think that maybe that would be, you know, you could give them the incentive, and then potentially if they withdraw in the middle and or quit or fail, then give it their full effort, then make them pay for it. Would maybe be an option to think about. Just being a millennial, as I'm referred to. That's kind of my input.
Yours is a job though, this is volunteer.
Right.
Yeah.
But my schoolwork is all volunteering. But it's all for in the purpose of getting a license to be able to.
It's based on your job though.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a little bit different circumstance, but I just thought that maybe.
Yeah. I just think more and more and more, we keep asking more and more from volunteers. And like this discussion I had with a state person a while ago, you know, I said, you have clerks, you have this, you have this, you have this, you have this, you know, to do all this. We don't have any of that. And this person was floored we didn't have our own police department. What do you do about crime? You know, it was beyond their comprehension. Like, and I said, well, get in your car and you can stay overnight with us and figure this out. You know, I'm sorry, that's the way it is.
You know, just a comment that made mention of Don and his fire department, they cover sections, 42 sections. That's quite a bit, and the old school, the Archers Community School, I looked back and they covered 28 sections. They ran a school like taxi with 28 sections. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
What they did back then. But expensive, but again, the expenses were like you were like a lot less than now, but the same things that kind of just,
Yep.
but the expenses always seem to be.
Well, back then you had 4 families on each section too.
Yes. Yeah.
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 But that's the old map,
Yeah.
28. It's amazing.
Yeah, and I'm going to back up a minute, and then we're going to move on quick. Going back to about spending money for dilapidated houses, first of all, these properties came here by complaint, and their complaints were valid, I have to say that. And then we listened to them and took action on it, because they are a resident of Archer, they have the right to make comments, complaints, public things. And when we look at it and say, yeah, it's definitely valid, you know, then that's how we look at it and say that's valid. So I'm going to use Blondie's house for an example. You know, Bill and I have been down there, you know, there's raccoons running in and out, there's mice running in and out, you know, there's a rat that lived in that back garage, big sucker for quite a while until somebody shot it. And Bill and I spent half a day over there getting lumber and nailing it up over the windows, the boards, you know, trying to force a property owner, you know, that doesn't live here to do something, and their attitude was, take a hike, Jack, you know, this is your problem. And that's where then attorneys get involved and expenses go up. I completely understand the issue with living next to that, and then the one on this side, you know, that trailer house also, you know, Mary was just tired of it. She had had it, and the police were called there a couple times because there were kids in there that were,
Hot parties.
yeah, smoking dope in there and carrying on, and it took an attorney to force that, and that's what it is, and so we go back to that. It's hard to force people, you know, to do the right thing, but it's especially when they're not a landowner in town, you know, and that's where it gets expensive then, is
But
that.
then you went on other ones too, instead of just sticking with those two.
Yeah.
You know, okay, those two, the people that owned them didn't live here. Okay, but then you started going around to other people that live in town and started going on their houses too, which,
Yeah, that would be one person, and then the other one was the welding shop, to get that cleaned up.
did you talk to them people personally?
Yes.
There's minor expenses involved in that one, really. At first, you know, like Richard, kind of a year or two, you gotta get their attention a little bit. But he was cooperative, he really was. So we fixed it up.
But then you talk about raccoons and all these other critters in town. We're a rural town. There's still coons in town.
Yep.
You're still gonna have rats in town.
Yeah.
You're still gonna have things coming in because of where we're located at. You know, you're still gonna have some of that.
Probably less if we get rid of some of these, you might say vacant properties or depreciated properties.
Right, and perhaps even, you know, I don't know what the total costs were with all the legalities and so forth, but perhaps after these properties are repurposed, perhaps we can have a higher income of our property. Everybody says a cumulative property evaluations are a little bit higher at the same time, as if they get repurposed, you know, correctly. And you know, it's certainly, I never like to spend money on something that we don't think we need to do, but if there's a possible way that we can recoup those costs and maybe make out a little bit ahead on it on the long run, then I have no problem with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, consent agenda. Anything else? We're good with that? Who's good with that? Okay, consent agenda, approve previous minutes. Everybody's looked those over, and I did. Don, does that answer your questions for fire department? We're good with that? Okay.
I guess, so we're good then? All right.
Yeah.
So this isn't really a budget setting hearing thing or nothing?
No. No.
Don, here's the cards for the fire, insurance cards for the fire department, for the trucks.
Hey, Don, I just thought of something, maybe you guys, you know, who went and took their time and effort and mileage to get our fire truck? Are you gonna discuss that later?
Yeah.
But, we're gonna pay somebody, whoever did that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, definitely.
And, yeah, and big thanks to Don and Stephen and Todd for finding that truck witness of this snowball truck.
Yeah, before you leave,
Thank you.
thanks.
Thank you.
Not a problem. Stephen did all
Yeah,
sorts.
Say
good one.
thank you. Yeah.
You made it home.
He had to put up with me for half a day, so I
I know you're gone 2 days.
So, all righty, very good.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Good. Are we good with previous minutes? Okay, we're just gonna do this by motion then. And, have a motion to approve previous minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve previous minutes.
Okay, second. Good, all in favor?
Aye.
Good, perfect, thank you. Financial reports, we're good with financial reports? Everybody's looked them over, had some time. Looked them over in detail, they look good.
Yep.
Okay, a motion to approve the financial reports.
And these balances are all of January 30th, so the plow truck is not out of here, out of these reports yet. But we won't have to make a budget amendment because you stayed underneath the 15,000, so we're fine.
Good.
Awesome.
That's good news.
So I didn't mean to leave you out when I said newspaper person, do you know? So do you know? Do you know? I forgot already. If other towns pay stripping anybody. I don't know. Yeah. It'd be good to find that out. I'm gonna work on that. I gotta find that out, because I think that's very interesting.
I have a quick question.
Yep.
Is there somebody that will be driving the plow truck, or is that a position you're hiring for, or
It's mainly volunteer.
mainly volunteer?
Mhm.
I'd be part of that,
Oh, good, good.
if that's a thing.
Yeah, I wanna learn how to drive it too, Stephen.
I used to plow for the city of Alton, so when I lived over there.
Oh, did you? Good.
Hauled snow away for them, drove the dump truck and the payloader, the plow a little bit
Great.
too, so.
I don't wanna do it.
Did you?
Those dollars, easy,
Oh, wait.
36 years, that's no fun.
How many years?
36.
You did a fine job.
Yeah, it's a long time, isn't it? Good, thank you. Okay, motion to approve the financial reports.
So,
Okay, second.
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Good, anybody opposed? Same sign. No, okay, and then claims.
And some of these are doubled up because last time I didn't get over here and get the mail right before the meeting, but this time I did, so, so I'm paying some of January and some of February, so it's fine.
Yep.
And it looks like a lot more because the plow truck is in there for the 14,000, but it's so high, but compared to what it usually is.
So, with that too, let's see. Paperwork.
Okay. And I called the state and they're gonna FedEx me out a plate for it. I didn't know if you had a plate or not.
Well,
Plates
I don't know how it works. This
Okay.
came with it. That was from the state.
Yeah, I'll get you a new
So
one. That was probably
can't
whoever.
imagine, I mean, it's.
I'll get you a new one, then it's all registered with the state. They're FedExing me one out, so I'll get it to you.
So with plow truck. Got. Bill of sale, title,
Okay?
for the 14,000 for the truck itself.
Okay.
Here's a bill for $1,500 for the plow itself from Banner Higgs. The only account they had on file was the fire department, so that's what you put it under.
Okay, and this needs to be paid yet, right?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, all right.
There's a check stub, I don't know if you need that or not.
Okay.
Got a receipt here to Baumgars for $36.98 for 2 hitch pins to mount the plow to the truck.
So that goes to you then, or you have
No,
a,
this was charged to the city of Archer.
okay, and that's the Baumgars in Sheldon then?
Baumgars and Sheldon.
Okay, all
I'll
right,
send you a bill, I charge some other stuff too.
okay,
And then I've got 3 receipts here for fuel.
okay,
So, one was fuel and Don DeVore's truck for the trip down and back. Second was diesel fuel in the plow truck for the way back. And then when Don went to Spencer the other day to get the plow put on, there's a fuel receipt there. Now, these were all charged, I believe, to his his own credit card, so.
So it all goes back to Don.
That'll all have to be back.
Okay.
Takes care of a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
And then pertaining to that too, you guys are talking about payment, I do have it mileage, it was myself and him that went to Ely to pick up that truck.
mhm.
So whatever you wanna do there.
How many miles was that, Steve? Quite a ways. wasn't it? Well,
Yeah,
you
right,
said
it was,
you gotta drive the truck.
the ride down wasn't as bad.
You didn't ride in the back box.
No, they were on the spot, I think I had to work that morning. Right, so according to his truck, it was 548.8 miles, is what we put on it.
548. And that was on Don's pickup, not yours? Okay.
You sure the squeak table?
So do you pay the IRS rate, or what do you pay for mileage, I guess?
I think we've always paid the IRS rate.
Okay.
But then we passed something like 33, I think. Nope, we didn't. Okay. I was hoping we did.
No, it's
Pay the
IRS rate.
IRS rate, yeah.
Okay, I'll just write something up and then get that in the claims and pay down all of that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have a motion to approve claims?
Yep, motion to approve claims.
Second.
I'll second.
Any more discussion? Good, good. All in favor of approving claims, say aye. Opposed? Same sign. Okay, good. Moving on.
Okay.
2 years.
Mhm.
And what's that for? then?
Moment, that's community center.
I do have one addition to the claims. I
Oh,
don't have
go ahead.
anything for it.
That's not for till next week.
And they'll send it.
On the plow truck on the way back from Spencer, he had a coupler break or something on the hose, so he stopped at Triple R. He did not get a bill or anything yet, but I'm assuming that would go to the city of Archer
Yeah, okay, so we'll put that on next
for a
month.
new
Okay.
hose.
Yeah,
They'll send me something
Yeah.
soon. Okay.
yeah.
All
We
right.
appreciate all your work, that snowplow truck
Yeah,
down there.
just in
Really,
time
really
for
good.
the next little snow.
Yeah,
Is it supposed to snow?
I mean, the last snow we got.
not much.
We
I got
tried
enough-
it out.
I got enough snow for everybody in my yard if you want to come grab some.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you're gonna be busy, cause the news tonight said up to 30 below zero.
Well, I hope everybody's heat works.
Only,
I don't want to
We'll
go out
find
there.
out.
yeah, this morning we,
Yes, old business. We have a code amendment pertaining to change in fees on 5.3/3.
I was just wondering, do you want that actually changed in the ordinance book, or do you want that, I mean, it says as set by Iowa law or set by the council. So do you want the actual fees published in your ordinance book, or do you want that just, it need to be in the minutes and then we know what it is? I wasn't sure how you want to do that.
According to Micah, it did not need to be an ordinance change.
Okay.
Which is great. And so we're fine with that.
So just keep track of it in the minutes.
Yeah, so we will keep track of that.
Okay.
I will say, since we're just into saying everything, I will say that that reporter right there did file a complaint with the state about this. And I read the complaint, and that she felt that we were not allowing her access to public records. That has cost attorney fees, and that went to myself and the attorney, and the attorney answered back and I answered back, and we have not heard any change to that yet, so we are advised to continue with this until we hear back from them. And I have heard anything, so, and I don't believe to date that Micah has heard anything. You heard anything? So, that's what I know about that. So, do wanna bring up, I want this on record since that's on tape. When this meeting started, not being mean, I just wanted to be clear with this, that Mary requested from you, what? She wants to review all the claims. And,
And I had sent that request from my husband before we started here, he asked me that any request be sent directly to him.
yes, yes,
He emailed me back and he said,
Okay.
"You need this at 11."
Okay,
And I
good.
was at work and I do not have access to my City of Archer account, and I never got hold of him by 5:30. So I
Yeah.
called his office, but he was gone, and so I left him a message to give me a call tomorrow morning.
oh, good.
So I will know.
Yeah. Yeah, but I want to be very clear that at the last meeting, I was really clear with this, that any requests be mailed and go through the city, okay? So Mary, I'm gonna tell you again, on tape, that that's how we're gonna handle things. You're not gonna go privately to the clerk and bypass this council. We all need to know, and they're not gonna get blindsided, such as this complaint we filed with the state. So please adhere to that.
You should read your law a little better.
So, that's what we're asking. And, so when we hear from that, we'll update everybody on Mary filing a complaint with the state for that. And, also, let's cover this ground too, since we're going there. Ombudsman, that's it. How about, you want to speak to that?
Which time?
Yeah, which time? Mary did take it upon herself to file complaints with the state ombudsman and against the city of Archer also, which has cost us attorney fees. So, so, just to be clear, everybody,
Spend the hours on attorney fees for my request, my complaint. It's absolutely not. Totally out of line with
no, that's not correct at all.
That's absolutely correct. You need to learn what public access to records really is. Have you understood what that was, and have you not misrepresented yourself as speaking for the entire city council of Archer, we would not be here. This is all I need.
I see. Why don't you get your attorney together, and I'll get with my attorney, and we'll hash this out, because you're making statements that are completely false and incorrect. This is not right. We will follow the law.
Is
and-
anything on the agenda
Yes,
for
no,
that?
no.
I think the City of Archer does not want to talk about it.
No, I think we'll get a comment, and it's our attorney, Mary, that's going to reply to you, if that's a good way to say it.
It's not on the agenda and we should not comment.
Yeah.
So,
So, and you're right, it's not on the agenda,
Yeah.
so we shouldn't. But as, for sake for everybody to know, that's what the deal is.
Okay.
Everybody clear with that?
Yeah.
And as soon as we get answers to all this, we will make it public. And when we do, if you don't get a copy, let me know and I'll give you a copy, because I don't know who copies go to. We'll find out. Recycling. Sell 2 dumpsters and start date for implementing individual residential recycling.
I talked to Trevor
Okay.
at Town and Country, and he says they're ready to go whenever we are. But we bill quarterly, so I'm thinking we would bill January, February, March, and then probably April we could start. And then it'd be $1.50 per month, so it'd be $4.50, so the new garbage rate would be $34.50. Because the Town and Country is gonna charge you $1.50 more for the recycling at each home.
Okay.
Okay.
And the only thing I didn't ask him is what day, what day do they pick up or I guess you don't do that, do you? right
No,
now?
we don't.
I'll have to ask him what
Mhm.
day they would pick it up
Mhm.
then.
I believe he stated, was it the first and third Thursday?
I think
That
you're
could
right,
be.
sir.
Is it?
I think you're right.
I think it
I'll-
was the first and third Thursday of the month.
Okay. I mean, that's just what I think, if you wanna start,
Mhm.
he said they're ready to go, they have the cans and stuff, but then it's just a little easier to get them all out. in
Mhm.
April, but that's
Yeah,
totally up
that's
to you,
good.
what you
Yeah.
wanna do.
We have to fight the snow.
Yeah, I know, I believe Primgar got theirs the other day. They got all new cans. And when this happens, we need to look at the point of if somebody's can comes up missing or lost, who pays for it? Because we've already had that issue. And so we need to think about that. I don't remember if he said, didn't we ask him that question? Did he say?
Well, in the past, I think the person whomever lost or somebody stole their, they have to replace it because, I mean, they can't be responsible for
Yeah.
costs. Missing.
I've seen trash cans chained up to a post before, so it's,
Yeah.
yeah, people do that.
Yeah.
I guess for some people, those trash cans are valuable.
I have no idea. Yeah,
Did you get any,
no.
okay, on the dumpsters,
No.
anything at all?
Okay, greenhouse and garage disposition. Do we want to think about,
Yeah.
well, Bill, go ahead.
I think we should just advertise it for sale. Whomever wants to place a bid on it. As is, with the understanding they remove it within the time frame whichever the council comes up with. Give us some input on that. That work for you? I mean, as an
Yeah.
interested party, just so we can kind of,
Yeah, they give other people a chance. I mean, that's fine with me. I don't plan on doing anything with it for a couple of years. I just bought a house, so I'm gonna build my savings back up a little bit. But
Yeah.
some ideas that I had thought about were either A, building a couple tiny homes on it, or B, I plan on breeding. Obviously, I just got another German Shorthair. I don't know if you guys have seen her yet, but super cute. I have a German Shorthair already, so I plan on breeding them, and it would either be the tiny homes and or like a kennel for my dogs are being bred and set puppies. So.
is that Duke?
Duke, yeah.
Okay.
So that's basically my plan with that. So obviously buying it, I saw it was listed like a while back for a ridiculous price, but yeah, I don't think anybody would do that. But a bid would be fair. Give anybody else a chance to.
Yeah, could we have to do that with city property?
Yeah, no, that's.
Yeah.
And with a time frame of demolishing that present property that's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Because we have to think about, again, the neighbors, they put up with that for an extended period of time, shall I say. And in all fairness, we have to get that, we got to take care of that for them and us. It's an eyesore. So,
Yeah.
but we have tried, and the weather turned and so on and so forth. So we're looking at obviously, 6 months or whatever.
I think 6 months is plenty of time.
What do you guys think?
So, yeah, what you're proposing is place it for sale by a sealed bid, with the understanding that the property has to be refurbished or removed
Removed.
within, well,
It's-
obviously the
yeah.
house, yes, but within a set time frame, right? That's what you're saying, so. I mean,
Yeah.
from personal experience, we did the same thing in the city of Hanley Falls where we lived before we bought the house next door. And there was no time frame, but our own personal goal was within a year to have it down. And we did.
Yeah, the whole idea is to get it down in a reasonable time because it's been sitting vacant. It's fire, it's fire damage. It's just an eyesore. And the reason why those windows, I took those windows down because I thought we were going to take care of that, and then all of a sudden,
Right at the stop.
then the people, the demolition people, all of a sudden they were very busy with tiling, late fall, and one had a shoulder operation, couldn't operate his equipment. So here we sit. Here I'm thinking, we're going to get this done, but
I think this is a better idea than paying more money to
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
demolish a property, and
Yeah.
that, we're not ever gonna recoup any of that cost, because,
Yeah.
let's be real, the property value, I actually have that on my phone too.
Yeah,
You know, right now it's listed at like $500 for the whole lot.
yeah,
I mean, you'd never, even if it was a bare lot, $1,000 tops, $1,500, you're gonna pay twice that easy to have it demolished.
Well,
So,
yeah.
I think, you know, if we place it up for sale, sealed bid, highest bid gets it, you know, it's open to everybody then.
well, yeah.
Yeah, we have to do it.
Take it,
Yep.
then it's there.
With the stipulation of time frame of demolish or removal.
Right.
I think it's reasonable, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Mhm.
What, it's February, 6 months, 8 months?
So, yeah.
So
All right.
where do you put it up for bids, in paper or in just, or where do you?
It's supposed to have to be in paper.
Yeah, legally, I think, I'll put it this way, let's just advertise it, you know, and,
Okay, but I mean, like, what paper do you use or the Northwest Iowa Review, or which?
it sounds like, 2 papers, and we also post it in our public place here.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
Speaking of papers, I have a question about the paper. Nobody has brought a paper to my house in the wintertime, but during the summertime, was there somebody delivering free papers or? Because I kept getting newspapers and they would put them on my deck and then my dogs would shred them. So I have a yard full of newspaper and I couldn't figure out who was doing it or why it was getting put there, but I had to
That
pick that.
happened 2 consecutive weeks.
I think, yeah, it did.
Hi, I'm Mary.
Oh.
I'm your guilty party.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that was, okay. I was just genuinely curious about that. So I had to pick up a bunch of
I
shredded.
apologize for the,
It's okay.
So would it be fair
we're gonna
to,
go.
Okay, thank you.
fair to say, you know, demolition by the end of the year, you know, December 2020? Or is that too long?
Well, then you get into snow.
think it's
let's get
too
it
long.
done- Let's get her done before the winter,
Yeah.
because the snow may come and then you sit and maybe an extension.
But I'm,
Yeah.
the other side of that too is we might run into that issue. I mean, yes, he's an interested party, but he
Yeah.
already says he's got other obligations, which
Mhm.
everybody does.
Yeah. But you were thinking about building later though, right?
Later, yeah.
Yeah, that's,
Correct.
we don't care what you, we do care,
Right.
but we just, our main concern is to get it taken care of.
So you wanna say end of October?
And
It's still pretty nice.
Yep.
I mean, in
That's fine.
October, you know, November, we might.
November 1? Sounds good.
Mhm.
Does that sound reasonable?
Cause that would be what? I mean, if it goes up
Seal bids by
this week. are you gonna
60
put the-
days or something like that.
What, I guess I need to know, like, what's the address or what is it? I mean, I can't just put
408
the.
Fletcher.
Yeah.
Okay, 408 Fletcher?
What's the repercussions of not having it removed on time?
Is what?
What's the repercussions if it's not removed on time,
Well,
or the deadline, where you just extend it and say, well, maybe next year?
I mean, that's where I think we could be open to that,
Right.
in my opinion, open to that reality of if said purchaser comes and says, okay, you know, look, it's not gonna happen, can I get an extension or something of that sort?
yeah,
I don't think that's unreasonable. I mean,
yeah.
let's face the fact that it has been in its current state since,
Yeah, since the fire was there.
yeah, when did it
Mhm.
burn? It had to have been, I mean, I don't even remember what year it burned. Yeah, the property address
It's got a
is,
long time.
Oh, I thought you had it.
well,
Got it?
yeah, it's not showing me here. Oh, yeah, 408 Fletcher.
Okay. Fletcher Avenue. Okay.
Yeah. Advertise it for 60 days at least? Or a month?
Right, I mean, I think you wanna get notice out there, because obviously the goal is to sell it, to move it. So you wanna be able to have people the opportunity to see the sale. I would think we'd have to set a date for review.
We'll see. This is by April, the next council meeting in April, but the following, not the next
Can we
council.
review the bids and
April. Being sent to the clerk, sealed bids by March 30.
I'll have to see, I don't know what they, I mean, to put the ads in the review and the Plain Times, that's, I need to see what the price is gonna be. Then we can't advertise it for 60 days, I know that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so, but maybe once or twice we can run it and then post
Yeah.
it and,
Mhm.
okay.
Where would you submit the bids to?
By law, that's,
Yeah,
City clerk.
yeah. You can just send an appeal box at 167.
it'll be in the ad.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna be very lucky, we're gonna get about 10 bids, I'm sure.
But with the idea that, is that if they tear it down, then you just sell it to them for $1, correct?
Well, no,
Or,
I mean, my idea would be if they put a bid, they wouldn't bid, that's it, right?
so
That's
they're
what
actually,
That's what they're buying,
they're actually buying the lot and,
Right, because we're not taking bids to remove the house, I mean, that'd be a different.
That's their obligation.
Right, that's what I'm saying, so,
okay.
Yeah, but we're selling it for the purpose that within the part of the sales, like Sheldon did, within the part of the sales, there would be, the property be cleaned up, removed, you know, blah, 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 within a period of time.
but there's not gonna be an
Yeah.
additional dollar charge to buy the lot. I mean,
No.
If you
No.
bid $5,000,
Yeah,
there you go, you bought your lot for 5,000.
yeah. And then I'll have a period of designated time to clear the lot.
Yep.
And if
Right,
not,
yeah.
then you won't get the deed for it.
Okay.
And you gotta go back out.
I have a quick question. I was told that there's water and sewer there. Updated water and sewer?
Mhm.
There is. Okay.
Yes, there is.
I was just checking. It's a very important.
Yep.
We were gonna stake that out, but it got too late, the snow was
I
this
got
high.
tools for that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, there is, there is hookups.
Good,
Now,
Good question.
I
yes.
guess clarification with that too, because there's also a garage.
That goes,
Removal of both?
yep,
Or-
Yes.
both,
Okay.
both, because the garage is unsafe.
But I'm saying we need to specify
Yep.
that in
Yep. Good
the
point.
ad.
So, yeah, so that they don't try and keep the garage.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Because if I was to buy it myself, I'd fix the garage and probably try to use it. And we want to have that removed by November 1st?
Okay.
It's the table.
It's a table, it's a squeaky table.
These chairs are awful hard
Okay,
to.
do you need a motion for all this?
Any question?
You probably should.
Yeah.
I think so. Okay.
I so move, according to what she, what we discussed.
No, you can't go that way.
To remove the, take sealed bids for the house located at 301
4-way Fletcher.
Yeah.
Fletcher Avenue. And sealed bids to indicate that the property will, the successful bidder will be responsible for removing said house and garage
Mhm.
by November 1. And sealed bid should be in by a date.
You said March 3rd, right?
We said by the first meeting in April. The meeting in April.
Well, we want all the bids in before that meeting, correct?
Yeah, so probably,
Yeah.
okay.
Should be plenty of time.
Yeah, it
By
should be.
March 30th.
It's not a very big house.
No. Mhm. No.
Okay.
Now, a quick question, what does it define if you take down the house, I'm assuming there's a basement or crawl space in that of some sort?
There's a
Does that include filling that hole in with dirt as well? So getting it to
Level.
level?
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be a good way to say it, level. Cleared and leveled.
Won't take much.
No. Okay, we have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Okay, we need, new business, we need to set a date for the public hearing for the budget adoption.
And that's in the packet that I handed out.
Yeah, I gotta get going, but,
Yeah.
okay, thank you. It was
So-
a good meeting, all
Yeah,
of you. I'm
thank
not
you.
so sure of everybody's names, but I might.
Richard.
Richard, I got that one.
Bill,
Bill.
I talked to you.
Yeah. You're Todd, are you you're Richard's son?
No.
No.
No, I'm Sarah, I'm Richard's
No.
daughter.
You're Richard, oh, okay, okay. And
Three girls.
Steve, okay. And the clerk,
I'm Sandy first.
Sandy, okay.
Yeah.
All right, it's nice to meet you all. Thanks
Yeah.
for letting me
Yeah,
join.
thank you.
Have a good night.
Stay warm.
I'll try.
So we would post this anytime after the 20th, and then the public hearing would be at our next meeting at 3:10, and then at the same time, we would adopt the budget at that time.
Yep. Okay.
So I just need a motion to set that public hearing date for March 10th then.
Okay, I will make a motion for setting, it said, sorry, let's try. I make a motion to set the public hearing for our budget for March 10th at 7:05 p.m.
For 2021.
Oh, for the 2021 budget.
There you go. You go up.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign. Okay, motion carried. Great. We will look at that budget for budget adoption. Perfect. Next item, quick, Archer newsletter. Esther said she can no longer handle the Archer newsletter, and she's having lots of difficulties, so she gave me everything. And the library is going to take over the newsletter. So that's very nice. So she gave me email addresses, names, on and on and on, who gets what, when they're due, and that kind of thing. So that's a nice deal.
Oh, that's
So it's very, very nice of the library taking that over. And when we publish the next newsletter, we should put a big thank you in there to Esther for all the years, because she's done it for years and years and years. I don't know how many years, but it's been a long time.
So I had a question. I got a check for $5, and then it says for clipboard.
Yeah.
So do you need the address then to add that guy to the, or is he already on there?
Oh, Don's already on there.
And he's just renewing his?
Yeah, and he's
okay.
renewing,
And
yeah.
then that goes back into the city funds, is that
Yes,
correct?
correct.
Okay, all right,
And
thank you.
see, Esther gave me the sheet of who renews when. That's
Oh,
what all
okay.
this is. Yeah,
Okay,
She did a fine job.
yeah,
so yeah, so
Yeah,
he's.
very good, very
renews
good.
then.
yep, very good.
Okay.
So I'll give this to Sarah, so that's the Archer newsletter. Community Center, Bill, furnace.
Yeah, bad news, you probably heard the squeaking, the running of the fan. That's a new fan motor, it's on that side, and did not get the bill yet. He had to order it, and this wasn't working, and the other two aren't working. They might work, this one works now at times, right?
At times.
And the other two, I gotta manually start them, and we're gonna keep the water off after. Do you have a library tomorrow?
Yes,
And what time is that? How late do you go?
2 to 6. Is it
You want me to
currently
come
on
down
or
and
off?
shut the water off? Because it's gonna get fiercely cold, and we can't have that freeze.
Yeah, whatever
I'll
works
come-
best.
Do you want me to come down? I can
Tomorrow,
tomorrow.
is it currently on right now?
It should not be. No.
Okay,
But if it is, it didn't freeze yet.
okay.
Yeah, you showed Candace,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
about
she-
it.
Yep,
Yeah.
and yeah,
But
so,
if, I'll shut it off too, and I'll turn that thing on manual if it starts. But they're shot.
Mhm.
They're absolutely shot, and we don't want to, we're kind of caught between a cold and a hot place here,
Mhm.
because I don't know what the charges are going to be if we got to do that,
Yeah,
have them come
right.
down and look at them again. I mean, because they'll run a little bit if I keep, the bypass thing
yeah.
down,
And
but
that's,
we can't do
can't
that.
do that, no.
We can't do that, so we got to shut that water off. It's just a pain. it's just getting, they serve their useful life, put it that way. So we'll find out what this bill is, and this one's really, I mean, we fixed an old furnace, and I don't know, you can hear it when it goes on. It's, you know, and that's a new motor in it, and, you know, like a fan, and it's just,
Yeah, I'll have to take a look, see if that fane's balanced right or something
Mhm.
like that, but that's kind of a little wonky there a little bit. But
yeah, you're certainly welcome to do that.
Nah, put a nickel on it.
But it's just one thing after another with this building.
Sure.
and,
Yeah,
Mhm.
these furnaces are been around for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's a pain. So,
Mhm.
very good, I'll make sure.
Good.
I-
Okay, thank you.
Shut it
Yep.
off for sure.
Yep, well, yeah.
And,
Okay.
because it's gonna be bitter cold Thursday. Does that meet all the questions on the furnace or something like that? I had the leak come down, and he shakes his head.
Is that who you had take a look at these? Red Deer?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they're gonna be somewhat familiar.
Mhm.
No questions.
Yeah.
Good. Anything else? Community center. Libraries. Here we have the library over. Anything to bring up?
We'll start that craft club the end of this month.
Mhm.
Bridget and Nadine will be teaching that. There'll be not a lot coming up in the near future. I mean, we'll have summer reading starting probably in May, and
Summer, sounds good.
have some ideas for programs, and not a whole lot going on. Yep, no.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, should have asked it in the community room. That light over the desk has been like, fluttery?
This one?
Yeah, the one that is on, but it like flickers. And that light and the ballast there have still been making a terrible noise every once in a while, and
What, were you here, or Lou was here, maybe you were here too when he said
yeah,
it's gonna make a noise, the best thing to do is replace the whole thing
yeah. So
Mm.
with
I
lights.
just want to bring it to your attention because it has been brought to my attention repeatedly the past like 2 weeks. So
You want these replaced?
just maybe,
I get
or
that
at least
wall.
just check, just see if
Oh,
maybe
that one there,
like,
right?
yeah, that
Okay.
one, maybe it just got twisted or something, and maybe it's not making the full
The
connection.
one above your desk.
Yeah, the one
Okay,
above the
got it.
desk, the desk. Yep, other than that,
It's not so bad.
no, just, I have just been brought to my attention many times, and I promise I would,
That's
Convey it
annoying
to you.
noise, that
yes, yes it
starter's
is.
making noise.
So, yep,
The
but
bellows.
other than that, it's been a peaceful month.
Mhm. Good. Streets and alleys. Snowplow truck.
He said it so
So-
fast. Still want that.
Yeah.
Yes, we do officially have a plow truck now with plow. Everything works. It came with a sand, salt spreader, and also a brine tank. Unfortunately, the state took the controller for that unit out of the truck. So, I don't know how hard we want to pursue those options. The truck is obviously fully functional as is.
Mhm.
To my recollection, never had a spreader in town. I have been in contact with Monroe, who all their equipment is on the truck. I have not had the time, the appropriate time, to meet and talk with this guy about what the option is. Supposedly there's a retrofit. The controller that was in that truck when it came out new doesn't exist anymore, so it'd have to be changed now.
Is that for the sander?
That's for the sander.
Mhm.
Right. Again, I don't have any pricing on that yet. They did send me a service manual for the truck. It's saved on my phone. It's 368 pages long. I'm not gonna print that off, but that was nice to be able to find
Yeah.
some parts.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what some of the stuff is.
Mhm.
Well, I came down here and asked about the copy machine.
but we weren't exactly sure how to print off of it, and,
Can you put that on like a drive?
well, that's what I was thinking about doing, was put it on a SD card or a flash drive,
Yeah.
so that it's accessible. Also with all that,
Or even the library computer to it?
this is all information pertaining to the truck. I mean, we've got build sheet, we've got service manuals for most of the equipment. Now, the controller isn't there.
You're gonna check on that.
Right. Again, I don't know,
If it's something
the
really-
total cost of the truck so far is under budget of what we have allotted. So there is potentially money there to do a controller for a sander. My suggestion would be not this year. We can look at it next year, because hopefully this season's almost over.
You're right, you're gonna put it right
Right.
over.
Good point. But yeah, everything's on the truck. Let's see, we got the plow. Don got the plow on Friday. Jeremy and I went out and tested it a little bit on Saturday, and then snow on Sunday. Jeremy was the one that moved it.
Nice plow, I looked at it from the street side, at least I didn't go.
Right, yeah, it seems pretty nice. It's reversible, everything we wanted.
Does that reverse rather nicely then? I mean, with the,
It does. I got some parts at home that I'm gonna go try. The way it's mounted to the cylinder on the front, I don't know if there's a different chain that was on it. So the pulley that holds the cable for the plow is kind of at an angle.
oh,
So when you pick it up, it doesn't center itself. So the plow kind of wants to tip, so you gotta adjust it a little bit so it lays straight, just when you pick it up. And then once you adjust it, it'll sit and then it does just fine. We do know from driving around, I will probably be able to do it. Should probably see if the county, if we can get a load of gravel or something in the box.
you should do that.
It's pretty light.
It is.
Chains too.
I'm afraid if we chain it, we're not gonna fit in the shed. 'Cause
Yeah,
we've
might be right.
only got,
That's-
That's right.
half
You have to,
inch.
you have to take some air out of the tires and.
Right, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't have a lot of clearance, but,
just go get a dump of gravel in there, have it shit out.
right, but I don't know, who do we contact for that? And the time frame.
County shed,
Right.
Steve Fisher, more likely.
Yeah,
We bought gravel from time to time
right.
Yeah.
from the county, and they would deliver it right to our dump site here.
Right.
If you just call them and,
But we don't
of course,
have-
this is different.
Right, if we have it there, we don't have any way to load it.
No, I'm just saying, this is different, so
Right.
you gotta know when they can load you up.
Right.
So,
So-
you know how to do that, so, or whomever.
Steve, yeah, I mean, do we have a contact number for him by chance?
I have it at home, Steve,
Okay.
so. I have Steve's number at home, Steve.
Yeah, see.
And the nice ability with this truck too is it is a full dump box. So
God, that's nice. Oh, it's
say
gonna be,
this summer if we got some road repair, now we have a truck that we can actually put some gravel on the alleys
yeah,
and such, so that way to maintain better. I mean,
looks like a great truck.
yeah, we looked at, well, we had one meeting with a little committee we set up. I think we looked at a half dozen trucks. We've been hashing out trucks kind of via text the whole time too.
Yeah.
And then
It's
this
gonna
one,
be a bit of a ringer, really.
this one seemed to be in the best shape from the pictures, so we just made the decision, yeah, let's drive the 280 miles and see. And we pulled up and yeah, it's
It's like it's
You know, it's nice.
advertised.
Yeah, I was thinking if it runs as good as it looks, right?
Right.
And at the price it was, I was like, this is not gonna be sitting around for long, even if it is the late end of the season.
Well, that's a good thing, it's, you know, all good things.
Yeah.
It sometimes takes a little longer than we
sure.
had to suffer through a big major snowstorm, but hey, you know what? That's behind us.
one other thing. We knew the history of this truck, we had to be replaced at a certain point with the reman, which is great, that's beneficial to us. The reman engine did not come with a block heater, so it
Yeah.
currently does not have a block heater. That's the next question of,
After the season, maybe you get it.
right, do we want to wait and just put a block heater in it? Do we want to go and pick up a magnetic block heater from Vanguard or something, stick on it now? I mean,
What are they called?
I would assume $7 or so, but if it's something that we're going to use temporarily, if it's going to put a block heater in it, we're never gonna, so. I don't have one anymore, but I'm just gonna run it down the road out there. I know today, but this Saturday, it's sat for a while, well, ran, Saturday was cold. So we would've got a heater on the road, but
Oh, did you?
and it popped right off.
Is that a propane?
Yeah, the kerosene.
Is that available yet?
That was down the road. He's like, let's run off to my shop, grab it, put on it in 5 minutes. So, that's just something off the list. I have a part number.
We need a block heater at some point in time.
Correct. I mean, the question is, if you more this season, this year, what the temperatures look like, forward or normal gas. Maybe we can't really predict that.
Well, why don't you just get a block heater at first time, you know, you can,
How do you think, Mac?
will that do the job? Do the job.
I used to have one on my tractor that's outside, not this one.
Yeah.
Not this one. And if I knew it was cold or snow and I had to use snow, and the night before I go out and plug it in.
It's sitting inside.
Right, it is inside. You know, the difference is now it's diesel versus.
Yeah.
You know, gas.
Well, you know, maybe $70 or $100, right? For a little one.
I didn't look, I didn't look.
If you feel like you need it, I mean, you guys should go.
Things that we had receipts for that we've done.
Yeah.
Right away.
There's always gonna be something.
Right, there's a few other little things that are gonna be, like I said, that hole on the front, got some pieces at home there. Make it straighten out so it doesn't turn. You know, something to come down with this. And spend a lot of time down there getting things done.
Why don't you tell us what school?
I don't know where. What? I mean, honestly, yeah. Can't make the rest of the year. Maybe a better idea is the goal with this truck in my mind would be to keep it as nice as possible for as long as possible. So, you know, and maybe the season we look at the service, because I don't know when the last time we actually serviced.
And when we looked at, we wanted to service too.
Right. You know,
Then you put some miles on it, then you
right.
see it.
This was a private party.
Yeah.
So do we take it to the dealer or something, in the season, have the service and have it go block here?
Yep. Now you're talking.
Maybe that's,
Sounds good. You're on top.
I think about this stuff all day long.
Yeah, sounds good. You got a plan.
All day long?
Right.
Oh, gee.
No, I think if you really need a block heater for a temporary one, that, you know, one of those magnetic ones, hey, that's gonna happen. I mean, the snow's gonna be here, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, I'd rather have the streets.
Yeah, we're serving, we're gonna be working even if we don't get much more snow.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, absolutely.
Just make sure you get it started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
We
one
were
thing-
without a truck before, and we don't want to get
Yeah, we don't have that, yeah.
So,
I gave
Even
it
one,
one.
we were getting up late.
Yeah,
That's what we said.
yeah.
We were in a fortunate situation before, now we have a really nice truck. I would predict we could get as many years of service out of this one as the amount.
Yeah,
yeah, I think you're on the right track.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, well, one thing that the county advised us at one point is to push the banks back further.
Correct.
And that'd be a good project to do too, is get those banks pushed back further.
We tried on Saturday.
You know, they're hard.
They're too hard now.
Yeah, they're
We
hard.
tried to push it back and it's just,
Yeah,
it's
Just
too
got
solid,
caught.
so,
Yeah.
yeah, next year,
Yeah.
obviously we want to widen it out.
We just got caught in that
Right.
ice and
Now,
snow.
we
Yeah.
also noticed Saturday too, this truck's significantly higher than the last one, taller,
yeah.
cab wise. There are a few trees
Yeah.
Mhm.
that we probably need to trim, I don't know. if we just do it, it's not like we're taking the whole tree, just a branch. Or, you know, do we go back to our respective property owners and say, you know, can you trim this?
Well, there's an ordinance, they have to trim the trees, you know, for, there is an ordinance.
Right, and it was mostly in the alleys,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're exactly,
you know, we
alleys.
actually, we didn't even go down by yours. Cause we, well, no, we pulled up there and said.
Yeah, no, right, that's a little bit of, it's got a bit of a little chicane
It's
to it too.
it's
so-
already, well, it's already tight.
Yeah,
It's like, I don't know if we're gonna push through that.
you know, talking snow removal on that North Street, maybe you should, what you thought of this too, you probably gotta get like Mullick or whoever else done with a snow blower in there.
Right, John DeBoer tried.
Oh, did he?
They just have a little blower on the back of the tractor, and he was not very successful.
Oh,
I didn't know, I guess I was gonna bring that up in the public safety part of it.
Yeah.
I didn't know, do we still have, I don't know if there ever was an actual agreement, but Randy Vanderslice used to have that giant
yeah, I
twin,
don't know if- yeah.
twin arbor snow blower
Yeah,
on the
he
back,
really
and a
has a
big
good
John
one.
Deere.
I think, Mullick has one now too.
I think bonds are gone though,
Yeah, but the boys are home.
that's true.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the agreement is with those people.
Well, we gotta pay them to open up, we gotta get that north road.
Right, yeah, it's packed and
Yeah, I mean, it's,
there's a big pile at the end there.
yeah.
Well, could the co-op use their payloader to do that too? I mean, I think the payloader can move it as well with scoops and so forth, but
Right.
if the volunteers or some other people.
Whatever you guys think is right.
Right.
Whatever
I
you
don't
guys
know.
think is right.
I don't know, I
Right,
was-
Richard?
Is it,
Yeah,
is it,
Whatever, I'm there, you guys are in
Well,
charge.
yeah,
in the sense of past relationship with Archer Co-op, have they agreed to doing anything like that before? Do you think they'd be opposed to that?
mhm.
I don't know. I guess from my understanding, growing up here in Archer, or the elevator, they always just pushed everything down Main Street.
Yeah.
Put a pile there.
Yeah.
As far as other stuff around town,
Yeah.
the only thing that I remember them doing is if the plow truck got stuck, they'd come and pull it out with the payload.
But they came around the other day and widened the
Intersection.
intersections
Yeah,
here.
and that could be,
Kent was doing that. But I guess he thought that it was too hard, the sides, because he didn't extend,
right.
he didn't do that. But nobody asked him to do the north, you're gonna have to ask them if that's what they want.
Right, okay, yeah.
If that's what you want.
I'll go down that avenue too, Alice then, and if you
Yeah.
wanna ask if you got contacts with.
I forgot about Randy, he got paid.
I just remember it, yeah, I mean, years and years ago, when I was probably,
2 chutes on it?
right, yeah, I was still a kid, but that thing was a 6-foot blower and 8 foot wide, and,
That's a good idea.
you know, it was,
Throw it to the next county.
right, yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for putting up the snow fence, can't even see it, it's been buried since whenever.
Yeah, it didn't last long, did it?
It did its job.
But it didn't last long.
Okay, are we done with that? We're good with that? Everybody happy with that?
Yes.
Okay, fire department, that's what Don wanted to discuss, what we
Okay.
discussed at the initial, so that was good. And I'm glad you did that, Bill, so we're all clear with that.
Call Sandy for some of that information, she's very helpful.
And Sandy, so he's all clear with that, so that's a good thing, it was a good meeting with them. And then Micah sent, can we do this now, this part?
It wasn't on the agenda, so we probably should maybe wait until next,
Yeah, okay. we
until
can do
next
that.
time. Cause I just got it after we had just published the agenda,
Oh,
so,
yeah.
so I can put it on for next time.
All right, let's do that.
Okay.
Resolution, that'd be good
Okay.
for, we'll get you all copies of this so you can see what it is.
Yep.
And that'd be good.
They all have it all, don't they?
Okay, good,
So,
good.
Did you want our homework turned in?
Yes, and if you have your homework, I'd like your homework, and I'll put that together.
I messed
Yeah.
mine up with a cup of coffee, so I didn't type
oh
it.
boy.
I did.
Everybody have your homework?
Teacher,
Homework?
No, they could get up earlier, so
Okay, you have to give it to me. I want your homework.
I got a special
I will.
pencil.
I
Okay.
will, I'll get it to you
10th anniversary?
in the morning.
Oh, excuse me.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Okay,
Tenth.
yes.
We also haven't adjourned yet, so I do have another thing of new business, kind of. I don't know if we can discuss it, but going to bond guards and such to make charges, none of these accounts are updated.
That's right.
None of them, I mean, it's not even current council, the contact information is,
I'm on it.
you're on it, you're on it, you're on it.
Who's 651-270-8314?
I'm assuming it's Wendy, I'm not sure.
That's what I thought.
But anyways, they gave me a sheet that we can fill out
Okay,
Oh, good.
to add
Yeah.
current contact.
Yeah.
okay,
Perfect.
so just add you two guys, cause who did you, you're on it, these
I
two
think
are on
these
it.
three are on it, and I think Tristan was on it, and Wendy was on it.
And take this number off, or show, do you do that, or when you
Okay.
send it in?
Yeah, just give it to me and I'll
Anybody
get
can do that.
get the new, everybody.
Yeah.
So Tristan, who would Tristan be, I'm sorry?
North.
Okay.
And they moved to Arizona.
Right.
He was the one that needs to come off in Wendy.
Downtown
Yes.
prison.
Yeah,
Why
it
don't
does
you-
here.
I'm afraid my kids would get a
Why
hold of
don't
it.
you do this
Oh,
to
he's
me?
in Arizona.
Okay, that's the problem there.
I'm afraid my kids would
Okay.
get
And
out of it.
also, Arnold Motor, I was asking about some electrical things for the truck,
Sure, yeah.
and their contact info is still Leo Piper, which,
Which one was that?
Arnold Motor.
Oh,
Yes, we need to update that.
Right, so I don't know who, I mean, I didn't want to just say, oh yeah, put me on it. I figured I had to bring it here and say,
And that's in Sheldon too?
correct.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get a hold of him and
Yeah.
get something to update.
Now, they said that bomb guard sheet, you can just drop it off there. I mean,
Okay.
You get it back to me, I go to town every day for work, so
Okay.
I can easily drop it off.
Alright.
truck got a good heater in?
Yeah, it does actually.
The old one did, remember?
Right. Where do we want to store the folder of books?
Is there not a good place inside the truck?
No, there's no glove box in the truck.
Hmm.
So like the registration, I'll probably, I don't remember if there was a clip on the visor, but
Mhm.
Sarah, you good?
I can put it in the cabinet for now.
Yeah, I could take it, but then if you need it, then
right,
you'll be
I
able to
mean,
get
there's,
to it,
there's
so.
owner's manuals and everything else in here, so.
There's nothing really for it.
Yeah, so you can put it in the big metal tub.